Good morning, Virgo. There is someone who cannot stop thinking about you. And I mean that in the most specific, most honest, most grounded sense available, not as a romantic flourish or a flattering generalization designed to make you feel good for 30 seconds. As the accurate description of what is actually happening in a particular person's interior right now. They cannot stop thinking about you, about the way you look, about the specific, physical, completely real way you exist in a room, the way you carry yourself, the way your clothes fit you, the way your presence has a particular quality that their eyes keep returning to, regardless of what else is available to look at. About the specific details that have lodged themselves in their memory with the particular, this is not going anywhere permanence of something that has found a home there and has no intention of leaving. You are in their head, specifically. The specific you, not a generalized version, not you as a category of appealing person, but you as a particular individual, irreplaceable person whose specific physical presence has done something to them that they were not entirely prepared for and have not been able to undo since. And the thoughts are not casual. That is what I want to address directly and honestly, because the title of this reading names it plainly, and the reading is going to honor that plainness. The thoughts have a quality of intensity that has been making sleep difficult and the waking hours more preoccupied than this person's ordinary self-management would prefer. They are thinking about you in ways that go beyond admiration, ways that are specific and warm and physical, and that have produced in them a very concrete plan about what they would like to happen and when and how. This is a reading about physical attraction. Real, genuine, specific physical attraction that has reached the level of losing sleep and inappropriate thoughts and an actual plan forming. And I am going to talk about it honestly rather than dressing it up in exclusively spiritual language, because what this person feels is human and real, and you deserve to understand it accurately. Subscribe to this channel and drop the word noticed in the comments right now. Because being noticed truly, specifically, in the full physical and personal reality of who you are is what this reading is about, and you have been noticed thoroughly. Let me start with what they noticed first, because attraction of this intensity has a beginning, and the beginning is specific. It was the way you moved, not a performance the ordinary daily, this is simply how I exist quality of your movement through space. The specific Virgo quality of someone who is completely inhabiting their own body without being self-conscious about the inhabiting, not the deliberate I am aware of being watched way of someone who is performing their physical presence. The other way, the completely natural, this is just how I move quality of someone who is not thinking about how they look because they are thinking about something else entirely. That unconscious quality is one of the most attractive things a person can possess, and it is one of the things that is hardest to fake. The performed version, the deliberately graceful, I have practiced this movement, has a quality that people who are paying attention can detect. It has a slight self-consciousness to it, a slight over-deliberateness, a sense of someone who knows they are being watched and who is managing the watching. You were not managing anything. You were simply moving through your space, being yourself. And the specific, unrepeatable quality of you being yourself in your body, the particular way you inhabit your physical existence, is what first caught their attention and held it. Then came the clothes, the specific way your clothes fit you. Not because the clothes are extraordinary, because the person wearing them is. Because the fit of clothes on a person is a function of the person inside them, of how they carry themselves and how they inhabit their physicality, and whether there is ease and confidence in the wearing, or a slight awkwardness of someone who is not entirely comfortable in their own skin. In your case, the clothes fit the way clothes fit someone who is at home in their body, who is not fighting the body or compensating for it or managing it, who is simply in it with the specific, natural, this is mine quality of genuine bodily ease. That ease is what they noticed. The clothes were the vehicle, you were the thing. Now, let me describe what has been happening in them since the noticing. Because the noticing was the beginning, and what has developed since is significantly more than the noticing. They have been replaying the specific, I keep coming back to this quality of a memory that has been accessed enough times to become vivid. The specific moment or moments of seeing you, the particular angle, the particular quality of the light, the particular thing you were doing that made your physical presence most undeniably present to them have been returned to with the frequency and the specificity of something that the mind is clearly very interested in. Something it finds worth revisiting, worth inhabiting again, worth experiencing through the medium of memory repeatedly because the original experience produced something that more of is wanted. They remember details, the specific ones, the ones that most people would not have noticed because most people's attention was not at this level. Small details that only register when someone is looking with the specific, I find this person interesting in a physical sense, quality of attention that records more than casual looking records. They remember these details at inconvenient moments, in the middle of things that have nothing to do with you, in meetings and in conversations and in the ordinary practical business of their day. You surface, the specific memory of you surfaces. And the surfacing is not gentle. It has the particular, this is demanding my attention quality of something that has become a significant preoccupation rather than a passing thought. The losing sleep part is real. Some nights, particularly the nights when the day has provided some new encounter with you or some new memory to add to the existing collection, the thoughts arrive with enough vividness and enough insistence to make the ordinary descent into sleep more difficult than it should be. Not every night, but enough nights that the pattern has become something they have noticed about themselves in relation to you. Something they have recognized as being different from ordinary attraction, as being of a particular intensity that is not fully under their control. Let me talk about the plan, because it is in the title and it deserves honest address. They have been thinking about what they want to happen, not casually, specifically, with the particular I have actually thought this through quality of someone who has gone past the stage of vague desire into the stage of concrete intention, who has moved from, I find this person extraordinarily attractive, to, I know what I want and I am thinking about how to make it happen. The plan is not a scheme, not something manipulative or strategic in an unkind sense. It is simply the natural human consequence of wanting something specifically enough that the mind begins organizing itself around the question of how to bring the wanted thing closer, of how to create the specific conditions in which what they want to happen has the opportunity to happen. What they want is contact, the specific, real, this is actually happening contact of being with you in a context that allows the attraction to be expressed honestly. That creates the space for the physical reality of what they feel to exist in the open between you rather than only in the private interior of their own head. They want to close the distance, the physical distance, the specific, there is space between us that I would like to not be their space. They are thinking about moments and contexts and the specific right circumstances, quality of an encounter that would allow the distance to close in a way that is wanted by both of you. They are not going to force anything. This person has enough genuine respect for you and enough genuine care about what happens between you to understand that what they want requires your willing participation. That the attraction, however intense on their side, does not translate into any claim on you. That what they are planning is creating opportunity rather than engineering outcome. But the planning is real, the intention is specific, and the intention is moving toward expression. Now, I want to speak to you, not about them, about yourself, about the specific, physical, entirely valid dimension of being in a body and having that body produce a particular effect on another person. You have a complicated relationship with your own physical presence. Virgo often does. The same analytical, discerning gap between actual and ideal intelligence that serves you so extraordinarily well in other domains turns itself on the body with the same unsparing thoroughness. The same capacity for noticing what falls short of potential that makes you exceptional in your work and your standards applies to the mirror, to the ways your physical self does not conform to whatever the ideal was that you have been carrying. This person is not seeing what you see when you apply that critical intelligence to yourself. They are not seeing the gap between actual and ideal. They are seeing the actual, the specific, real, this is the person reality of your physical presence without the comparative falls short of something overlay that you apply to it. And what they see when they see the actual when they look at you without the gap assessment that you bring to yourself, is what has been producing the losing sleep and the inappropriate thoughts and the plan, the actual you. The physical, present, real you that exists when you stop thinking about what you are not and simply are what you are. That version is extraordinary to them, not despite its imperfections in your own assessment, including them, because imperfection, in the sense of not conforming to an abstract ideal, is not what they are looking at. They are looking at you, the specific person, and the specific person has a physical presence that has genuinely, significantly, sleep disturbingly affected them. Let that be true. Let the actual you, not the you after corrections or improvements or the you as you would be if the critical assessment were satisfied, be the thing that has produced this, because it is the thing that produced it, the actual you, right now, as you are. What does this attraction mean beyond the physical? What are the cards showing me about the nature of this connection and where it is pointing? The physical attraction is real and it is significant and it has its own honest value. I do not want to immediately translate it into something more elevated as though the physical needs to be justified by the spiritual or the intellectual before it can be taken seriously. Physical attraction between real people who genuinely find each other compelling is a complete and valid thing on its own terms. And underneath the physical, through it, because the physical is the most immediately visible expression of something larger, there is more. They are attracted to how you carry yourself, not just how you look, how you exist in your own skin, the specific, grounded, this is who I am quality of your physical presence that communicates something beyond aesthetics. It communicates the interior, the confidence that comes not from thinking you are the most attractive person in the room, but from being genuinely at home in your own existence. The ease that comes from having a real relationship with your own identity rather than a performed one. That is what makes the physical attraction connect to something deeper than purely physical wanting. They are attracted to the evidence in your physical presence of who you actually are, of the specific, irreducible, grounded quality of a person who is genuinely themselves in their body the way they are, genuinely themselves in every other dimension. The attraction is to you, all of you. The physical dimension is where they first encountered it and where it is most immediately and most intensely present. But it goes further than the physical. Let me close with something honest and something warm. Being found physically compelling by someone who has been losing sleep over you and forming specific plans about you is a straightforwardly good thing to know. There is no need to complicate it or elevate it beyond what it is or translate it into something more philosophically respectable. It is simply, honestly, as a human experience, a genuinely good thing. You have that effect on someone. The specific sleep disrupting, thought occupying, plan generating effect of a person who has become a significant preoccupation for someone who did not necessarily plan to be so significantly preoccupied, who saw you and was affected in a way that has not resolved and has not diminished and has in fact been building in the direction of more rather than less. That is about you, the specific, actual, as you are you, not a performance, not a carefully constructed version. You in the ordinary, this is just how I exist quality of your daily physical presence. Whatever your relationship with your own physical self, whatever the critical internal assessment has been saying, whatever the gap between actual and ideal, your own analytical intelligence has been cataloging this person, has looked at the actual and found it worth losing sleep over. Let that mean something. Not as the primary source of your sense of worth. You are far too grounded for that, and your worth is far too complete to rest on any single person's assessment. But as the honest, specific, real information it is, you are compelling, physically, specifically, genuinely, to someone whose sleep schedule is currently providing evidence of it. That is simply, honestly true. Tell me in the comments, do you know who this is? Has someone's energy toward you had this specific, warmer than ordinary, slightly more than they are showing quality that matches what I described? Drop noticed if this reading found you somewhere real today. Tell me if you have felt the quality of being looked at in this specific way, the way that registers in the body before the mind has processed it. Tell me if the plan I described matches something you have been sensing in how this person moves around you and creates circumstances to be near you.